Most AI agents you see online are demos.
They look magical for 90 seconds, then fall apart the moment a real user does something unexpected.
Today we fix that. I am going to show you the 6 layers that turn a flashy demo into an agent you can actually put in front of customers.
We will build the whole mental model around one real example, a support agent that can look up an order and issue a refund, because the moment real money is on the line, every shortcut shows up.
Layer 1 is the loop, and this is the part people get wrong first. An agent is not one big call to a model. It is a loop. You give the model a goal.
It decides one small step.
It takes that step using a tool. It looks at the result.
Then it decides the next step, with that result now in its context. Decide, act, observe, repeat, until the goal is met or it hits a limit. For our refund agent that means, find the order, check if it qualifies, issue the refund, then confirm to the customer.
A chatbot answers in one shot. An agent works in steps.
Frameworks like LangGraph, the OpenAI Agents SDK, or the Claude Agent SDK exist to manage exactly this loop, the state, and the branching, so you are not hand-rolling a giant while loop full of if statements.
Layer 2 is tools.
Your loop is useless if the model can only talk, so you give it hands.
Tools are just functions you expose to the model, each with a name, a description, and typed inputs. Look up order. Check the refund policy. Issue a refund. Send an email.
The model reads your descriptions and decides which one to call, and with what arguments.
The cleanest way to connect tools today is MCP, the Model Context Protocol.
Think of it as a universal socket.
Write a tool once as an MCP server, and any agent that speaks MCP can use it. Here is the production secret though. More tools is not better. 10 vague tools confuse the model.
For sharp tools, each with a crystal clear description of when to use it, get picked correctly almost every time.
Name them well, and the model stops guessing. Layer 3 is memory. A raw model has amnesia. The moment a task ends, it forgets everything. Production agents carry 2 kinds of memory.
Short-term is the working scratchpad, the running history of this task, what the agent has tried and seen so far. Long-term is knowledge you store once and pull back later, your docs, past tickets, product data.
That long-term part is RAG, retrieval augmented generation.
The mistake beginners make is dumping everything into the prompt. That blows up your cost, and it actually makes answers worse, because the model drowns in noise.
Instead you retrieve only the few pieces that matter for this exact step, and feed just those in.
For our refund agent, that means pulling this customer's order history and the refund rules for their region, not the entire company handbook.
Smaller context, sharper decisions, lower bill.
Quick one, if this is landing for you, a like genuinely helps the channel reach more builders.
Now, the layer that separates demos from products.
Layer 4 is control, and this is where most demos quietly die in production.
The real world is messy.
Users type garbage.
APIs timeout.
The model confidently invents an order number that does not exist.
So you wrap the loop in guardrails.
First, validate every tool call before it runs, against a strict schema, so a malformed call never reaches your real systems. Second, retry on failure, but cap the retries so a flaky API does not spin the agent forever. Third, put hard ceilings on the number of steps and on total spend per task, so one stuck agent cannot quietly run up $1,000 bill overnight.
And fourth, for any action that is risky or hard to undo, and issuing a refund absolutely counts, you pause and route it to a human for approval. An agent with no limits is not autonomous. It is an incident waiting to happen. Layer 5 is Evals, and honestly this is the layer almost everyone skips. Here is a stat that stuck with me. Most teams building agents already have
monitoring in place, but barely half of them ever run offline evaluations.
They watch production break in real time, instead of catching it before they ship.
That is shipping code with 0 tests.
So do the opposite.
Build an eval set, a collection of real tasks with known good outcomes. For the refund agent, that is a folder of example tickets, each one tagged with what the correct action should have been. Every time you change a prompt, swap a model, or add a tool, you run the whole set and check the score. Use exact checks where the answer is clear, and use a second model as a judge for the fuzzy ones.
If you cannot measure whether a change made your agent better or worse, you are not engineering. You are guessing. Layer 6 is observability. When your agent makes a dozen tool calls to handle one ticket, and something goes wrong on call number 9, you need to see exactly what it was thinking at every step. So you trace the whole run. The prompt, the model's reasoning, each tool call, each result, the latency, the tokens. Tools like LangSmith, or anything built on OpenTelemetry, give you that timeline. And you watch costs like a hawk, because tokens are real money, and an agent caught in a retry loop can burn through your budget in minutes. Good tracing turns it broke somewhere into it failed right here, on this call, for this reason. That is the gap between debugging in 5 minutes and debugging for 5 hours. So stack the 6 layers. A loop to drive the work. Tools to act on the world. Memory to stay grounded. Control to stay safe. Evals to prove it actually works. And observability to see inside it. Take any viral demo, add these 6, and you get something you can hand to real users without holding your breath. Here is your move if you are building one right now. Do not start by reaching for a bigger model or bolting on 20 tools. Start with a clean loop and one good tool. Get it working end to end. Then add memory. Then guardrails. Then evals. Test after every single layer. The boring layers, the guardrails and the evals, are exactly the ones that earn trust in the real world, and they are the ones demo builders skip. That is your edge. If this gave you a clear map of what production actually means, hit like so more builders find it, and subscribe, because the next videos go deep on each layer, starting with building your first MCP tool server. And drop a comment, which of the 6 layers is breaking your agents right now? I read every one. See you in the next one.